Donovan Bailey, how you doing, buddy?
I'm good, man. I'm good. How are you doing?
Good. I watched you on the CBC last week. Great job, as always. How was the Olympics for you, this Paris Olympics?
Oh, phenomenal. I mean, we saw, obviously, a couple of performances that I expected I didn't get, but this has nothing to do with me. As a fan and also, as a broadcaster, we saw phenomenal performances. The 100 meters men's was epic. The 100 meters women was epic. The 200 meters, I probably can name 5, 6, 7 events, 8 events that were epic. So it was great. The broadcast team that I work with at CBC was also fantastic, the best in the business. So yeah, man, it's been fantastic.
Did you enjoy a Great Lakes beer with Ron McLean? He's a big fan.
Ron McLean is one of the best dudes ever. Ron McLean is a good buddy, my neighbor, and one of the very best journalists ever, one of the very best broadcaster presenter ever. Ron makes life very easy for me by just being Ron.
I'm a big Ron head here. So this is a very brief episode because we just recorded. So if people want to hear Donovan Bailey's take on all the 100, the 200, the 4x100, all the major track events that took place in Paris 2024 at the Olympics that just passed, it's on the most recent episode of Donovan Bailey Running Things. You and Jason Portwando just recorded about 45 minutes. It was very in-depth and entertaining, and I'm going to share that with the universe now. So people can pause this, go listen to the latest episode of Donovan Bailey Running Things. I'm going to play, you mentioned this race. I'm just going to play this race and then ask you for your reaction to this in real time because I watched you react to it. And then I'm going to take you back, okay? I'm going to take you back. So you're going to go to a time machine. But let's just listen to this call.
The Canadian so efficient. Handing off to DeGrasse. DeGrasse has a chance here. DeGrasse in the lead. Down the straight they go. Andre DeGrasse, can he hold them off? Yes! Canada wins the gold in a massive upset here in Paris. 37-50, a seasonal best.
Okay, Donovan, I need to know your reaction in real time. And looking back, how much of a shocker is this? I mean, you won gold in the 4x100 meter in Atlanta.
Right.
And that was sort of, I feel like that was, okay, we have the fastest man in the world. He's got the world record time. I felt like that was less of a surprise than this.
Right. It was a surprise. Well, first of all, winning in Atlanta wasn't a surprise to me at all. I mean, we were going in, we were the number one team. I was the number one sprinter. I had the world record, had all the titles. So for me to help to motivate the guys to get ready. I mean, the only thing was that we were in Atlanta. We were in America. We're at their house. But yeah, it wasn't surprised that we won in Atlanta. But here, I mean, you know what? It might have been a surprise to some people. But here's the thing. These 4 athletes are very familiar with each other. They're very comfortable with each other. And they were all extremely hungry. There's a whole lot of pressure because none of them had gone and in their individual events to even the finals, and that was a standard, and that's been the standard for a few competitions. So yeah, it was a surprise to me. It was. I mean, I was a little. Definitely there's some deep thoughts about what Glenn were going to do. Dude, I'm being honest. There was deep thoughts because of how the 4 guys were running individually. I mean, and I know that there's a couple of young guys that were on the team, and I was thinking, man, was Glenn Roy going to substitute those guys in for the finals or not if they made it through? But I got to tell you, man, motivation and pressure. They say pressure busts pipe. And at the end of the day, I think that them being comfortable, them not doing anything in their individual competitions, and by the way, track and field is an individual thing, but I think all of them were extremely disappointed in their individual competitions. And I think that collectively they decided, man, I got to leave Paris with something. I got to leave Paris. I mean, I'm just saying to that, if I was in that room, I'd have been like, yo, we are not leaving here unless we get something. Right. And I think that's what Aaron and Jerome and Brandon and Andre decided, and good on them, man. I mean, welcome to the club. They're now Olympic champions in the relay.
You raise a good point. I can't remember a 4x100 meter relay gold medal team that didn't have a single member of the team that made the 100 meter final.
Correct.
Like, that's unbelievable. And how many of the Americans butchered the baton exchange again, right?
Mm-hmm.
They're known for that. Now, I think 3 of those guys were in the finals. Am I right? I mean, Noah Lyles did bail out. That's right. He was sick. So Noah.
Well, you had 3 guys. You had 3 American guys that were running 9.8 or faster.
So, do you think if the
they had 9.9 was the slowest American guy.
If the Americans don't butcher the baton exchange, do you think Canada has silver in that race?
Well, we'll never know, Mike. We will never know. Canada has gold.
But you know everything, Donovan. Come on.
Canada has gold, and that's all that matters. No, listen, I mean, like, on paper, the U.S. absolutely was faster, but also Japan was very good.
Right.
Italy was reigning Olympic champion. I mean, China was running very well. The South Africans have they have 3.9.8 guys, right? So I'm just saying to you that, if the race was run over, who knows? But who cares?
Right.
The Canadians are the Olympic champions, and that's that, and no one can take it away from them.
Do you remember the date? June 1st, 1997.
June 1st.
June 1st, 1997. It was a Sunday. There was a 150-meter race that took place at Skydome. Do you remember this?
I think I remember it, yes.
Okay, I know when you had your Toronto Mike debut, we went pretty in depth. I played the call. We set this up. But in an essence, we always talk about the 100-meter champion in the Olympics. We always say that's the fastest man in the world.
Right.
In Atlanta, everybody knows this, but in Atlanta, you ran 9.84, world record time. You won the gold medal. Mm-hmm. You, Donovan Bailey, were the fastest man in the world.
Alive.
Fastest man alive.
Yeah.
Right. World record holder. The fastest man of all time, if you want to get technical.
Right.
Michael Johnson was the 200-meter champion, and he just started calling himself the fastest man in the world? Is that what happened there?
Well, I mean, it's definitely self-imposed, for sure. I mean, Michael's a fan. There's a fan of one,
right.
Because, I mean, somehow your lying ears or lying eyes is being determined by someone who says that he is the fastest person in the world, 21 miles an hour. But the guy who runs 28 miles an hour is not that fast.
So nonsense, because all of us sensible people
great
know.
Marketing for Michael, though. It's all good.
Well, great marketing for you, too, in the sense that you had this race on June 1st, 1997. We all tuned in, okay? Please, show me your accounting slips here. How much money did you take home from this race?
Couple of bucks.
Couple of them. What's my cut of that? None, I guess. Okay. So you guys decide, okay, we're going to make some noise here and have a 150-meter race to determine who's the world's fastest man. Mm-hmm. Now, it's at Skydome, like I mentioned. You're the 100-meter champ from Atlanta. Michael Johnson is the 200-meter champ, and he also won the 400. But again, he never won the 100-meter. He wasn't in the finals. Right. But you guys run 150 meters. I played it in your Toronto Mike debut. Everybody knows Michael Johnson kind of pulls up lame and doesn't even, I don't think he finishes that race, but you blow him out of the water.
Right.
You won that race.
By a mile, yeah.
By a country mile.
Right.
May I play for you a recent clip that CBC talked to Michael Johnson? May I play this and just get your? I want your honest reaction. I don't want the CBC reaction. Okay, I know what that's like. I want the Toronto Mike real talk. Let's listen to Michael Johnson here.
Country remembers very well your rivalry with Donovan Bailey. What is the status of your relationship with him?
Oh, absolutely not. Donovan said what he said after that race.
He didn't pull up. He's a chicken.
He said what he needed to say, and I did what I needed to do. Went ahead and kept winning gold medals and left Donovan where he still belongs.
Thank you, Michael. Appreciate. We remember Michael Johnson. Clearly, the rivalry is still very fresh.
How would you like to respond here?
I'm not responding, Mike. I'm not. I don't. You know what's really funny? I actually don't. Let me tell you this. I don't think. Number one, I'm not competing. Right today.
No.
We competed against each other when we were in our utmost prime. Right.
Right.
The race was over in 10 meters. Okay? No, I'm just saying. This is fact.
I watched it. You're 100% right.
This is facts. The race was over. I start 1 meter on the inside and I catch you in 10 meters. So at the end of the day, I don't have to respond to anything. I mean, I think that Michael again, I'll always respect Michael as one of the best speed endurance guy, which is a 400 and a 200 meter guy. I'm actually still, in fact, I'm actually still surprised that Frankie Fredericks and Otto Bolden didn't adapt my race model, which would be to get out of the blocks because you know you're much faster and you have much more power than your opponent. So to get out of the blocks and like crush them in the first 30, 40, 50 meters. I'm actually surprised that Otto Bolden and Frankie Fredericks didn't, but it is what it is. They ran Michael's race and Michael won. But dude, I think that Ariel is amazing. Ariel's one of the best reporters out there. I mean, and he doesn't care, and certainly a little bit of a shit disturber. But at the end of the day, whatever Michael's saying right now, and whatever it is, I really wish him the best. And ultimately, for me, I want to be supportive of the league he's starting, because the league he's starting is exactly the business model of the 150. We had the best of the best competing against each other for more money than they've ever made. So again, I know it well. I was the intricate part of planning for this. But at the end of the day, man, I didn't think. I mean, I think I said I didn't think that I was living rent free still in Michael's head.
That chicken comment is still ticking him off. It's still, you could tell.
Yeah, I think Michael's probably a very sensitive guy. Michael's still a very sensitive guy, and at the end of the day, I like for me, my wins are my wins, my losses are my losses. I own all of it. I'm still, one of the greatest men that ever walked the face of the earth, one of the fastest men that ever walked the face of the earth. And my responsibility at this age is to play it forward, cheer on all the young cats that are out doing amazing things like Tobogo and Kashane Thompson and Noah Lyles, whoever, like all of these. My job is to play it forward. I'm losing absolutely no sleep, or have I ever lost any sleep about winning a race or losing a race.
Okay, before we say goodbye, again, you just finished the great recap of the Olympic track events on Donovan Bailey Running Things. You do that with Jason Portwando. People can find it on your YouTube channel, or you can find it wherever you get your podcasts. I'm literally going to drop that as soon as we finish this last couple of minutes here. But at the time, watching the 150-meter race, it looked like Michael Johnson knew he was cooked and bailed. Like, he just said, I'm shutting this down because I'm going to look foolish getting blown out of the water in a 150-meter race. So it looks like he does pack it in. He chickens out. That's my eyes at the time, okay? He claims he was genuinely injured. What say you all these years later? Does it matter? Or because your chicken comments, I think, are fair if he's bailing because he can't compete with you, Donovan.
Well, dude, that was result then. I mean, and if he said he was genuinely injured, that's fine, because I mean we also competed in Europe 2 weeks later. So whatever the injury was, and again, if he was injured, then hey, man, I'm glad that you got better. Michael had a stroke a year or two ago.
Did he?
Right? Yeah. I mean,
yeah.
I mean, so I always look out. I always look out for someone's well-being. Right. But at the end of the day, for me, like I said, I'm running 9.8. I'm the world record holder. On his greatest day, he runs 10.1. It's not a rivalry. I mean, it's not even remotely close.
There's no debate.
Right. So at the end of the day, if I run 9.8 and someone runs 10.1, so at the end of the day, if I have a 50 meters to go, let's just say I did that. Right. If I have 50 meters to go, I'm still 20, 30 meters ahead of you. I can run backwards.
Right. Now, it's worth noting that Michael Johnson got a $500,000 appearance fee.
Greatest payday for him.
So, he's like a boxer, right? You can just take the dive and take the money and run.
You should be thankful.
Whatever.
You should be like, hey, this is great. Mr. Bailey, you got me $500,000.
Love it, Donovan. Again, loved your coverage on the CBC, and I love your podcast, Donovan Bailey Running Things, and I'll see you next week, bud.
See you next week, Mike. Have a good day.
And that brings us to the end of our 1,536th show. Listen, subscribe, enjoy Donovan Bailey Running Things with his co-host Jason Portwando. It's a TMDS production recorded live in my basement once a week. The YouTube video we record is pure fire. Hear Donovan's takes on what's happening in track. The Paris 2024 recap is now live. Much love to all who made this episode possible. That's Great Lakes Brewery, Palma Pasta, RecycleMyElectronics.ca, the Toronto Maple Leafs baseball team, and Ridley Funeral Home. See you on Monday when FOTM Hall of Famer Peter Gross drops by. We'll see what's cooking with Peter.